What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Run with Jay channel. So today I'm very excited because we're going to be doing a review on the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. So the original Endorphin Speed was probably one of my favorite running shoes of all time. Not only because it was very lightweight for the price, but it also could pretty much do everything from, slow runs to fast tempo runs. And also you can use it in races. I used it for a virtual marathon in the rain and it held up fine. Very excited that Saucony finally has released a new version this year, and we're going to test the shoe out and see if this is the best version so far. So if this is your first time to the channel and you enjoy the content, please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for the notifications. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your contribution and support. So let's get this review started. So the Endorphin Speed 3 was released around July to August of 2022. The price of the shoe is $170, so it has increased by $10 since the previous version, which isn't surprising since everything has been expensive in life and other shoes have increased in price as well from other brands. The weight of the shoe is still very light at 7.4 ounces for a size 8.5. And I'm just surprised that Saucony was able to keep the weight down even with some of the minor changes that they did to this shoe this year, which is a good thing. The offset is still 8 millimeters, similar to the previous two versions. However, the heel has been raised by a half of a millimeter to 36 millimeters, and the front has increased to 28. So last year's version was 27.5 in the forefoot and 35.5 in the heel. So they did add a little bit of more foam to the shoe, and they made the base of the shoe wider as well. So when you compare the first version, which is pretty much the same as the second version, to the 3, they all look very similar, which is a good thing. So the components that make up the shoe has pretty much stayed the same as well. The old saying, if it's not broken, why fix it, right? So that definitely is true. I'm glad they haven't changed much with this shoe because it was great, since the original version, and they really didn't need to make anything or big changes. Some companies feel like they have to make these changes every year and they end up ruining the shoes, so it end up going back to the the version that works. So I like what Saucony did. They did make changes on what was needed, and the rest they kept the same. So a lot of the features on the shoe have stayed pretty much consistent. So the upper, you have the same mesh here, which is very comfy and breathable. The lace system is pretty much stayed the same. The laces are a little bit more plush this year, but the one bad thing is they fray pretty easily. But other than that, when you lace these type of laces down, it doesn't add too much pressure onto the top of your foot. So that's a good thing. The tongue is pretty much the same compared to the last two versions. It's pretty much sewed into the upper on the sides. And there's very light padding on the tongue, which is good. I didn't really have any issues with any pain on the top of the foot from lacing the shoe tight. Other than that, the back, that you have the heel counter that stayed the same, as well as this vertical kind of heel counter. They've added some strips in the forefoot area as well here, I guess for the form and to add stability, and also they've added more foam to the midsole, the Power Run PB foam here, which is the bread and butter of the shoe. And they also made some changes to the nylon plate this year. They added some lateral media wings on the side of the shoe, which you can see on both sides of the shoe. This little black sliver of plastic plate, which is supposed to add stability to the shoe, and it does in fact do that after running in the shoe. And in the outsole, they've kept the XT900 rubber outsole, which is very good. I've never had any issues in any of the Saucony shoes that use the XT900 outsole. They've always been very grippy, even in the rain, and they don't wear down as quick as other shoes. And from my Endorphin Speed 1, you can see that the rubber on the shoe is still pretty much intact, even after 400 to 500 miles. So this shoe is definitely durable, which is a plus. So this shoe does fit true to size, so I didn't have to change my size up or down. There was plenty of toe room in the toe area. Other than that, Saucony still kept the form fit design for the shoe, which is supposed to lock in your feet and give you that perfect fit every time. So I did have to adjust the fit a little bit out of the box because the laces were pretty loose. So keep that in mind. You'll have to tighten up the laces or loosen it up depending on how tight you want your shoe to be. So that definitely has to be adjusted when you first get your shoe. The speed roll technology on the shoe is still here. It helps you transition from heel to toe seamlessly. And during my runs, I didn't even know how fast I was going until I looked at the watch, and I was going like threshold tempo pace, and I didn't even feel like I was going that fast. So I'm glad Saucony has kept a lot of features in the shoe, which a lot of runners love. Honestly, I don't like when companies make changes on a shoe for no reason, even though it's working. I basically just leave it as it is and only change what's needed, which is exactly what Saucony did. I would say that this is probably one of the best releases of 2022 by any brand out there this year, even though this shoe might have gotten the smallest changes compared to the other new shoes that were released in 2022. Really, the biggest changes they made was to the nylon plate, where they added the lateral media wings, and also they made the base wider and added a little bit more Power One PB foam to the shoe to make it a little bit softer. And this year's version, the foam is a little bit softer compared to the previous version, which is nice. As soon as I put the shoe on, it kind of took me back to the days when I ran in the original Endorphin Speed, which was amazing. I think that was the first shoe that I ran in where I really just enjoyed running in the shoe, which might sound a little bit strange, but it just felt so good and comfortable. It just made running so seamless, and I really got into running more because of that original Endorphin Speed. So the shoe, its characteristics definitely feels like the original Endorphin Speed. It is a little bit softer, which is a good thing, and there was no more stability issues in this shoe that a lot of runners complained about, the 1 and 2. So that's the reason where they added a wider base, as well as they made the changes to the nylon plate. Other than that, when running in this shoe, even in long, short distances, I could barely feel that I'm going fast until I look at my watch. This shoe makes you want to go fast, and you will be going fast, and it doesn't seem like it, but that's like pretty much the magic with the speed roll technology. So this shoe will help you go faster and require less energy from you, which is absolutely a great thing. And even after longer runs, my feet or legs didn't feel beat up or exhausted, even though the shoe has a plate. It's probably one of the less aggressive shoes with plates out there. When you compare this to like the Zoom Fly 5 or other Nike shoes out there, like when you run in those shoes, it just feels so stiff and it just doesn't feel comfortable on your feet. But with this shoe, the foam is just perfect. It's not too soft where you're like running on clouds that some runners hate. It just gives you enough of that cushion when you can go fast, and it also helps fatigue on your legs. And I know a lot of runners still prefer the old traditional, running shoe where you can kind of feel the road, and it's not just, max cushion foam. So I believe that this shoe kind of gives you the best of both worlds. The only negatives I can think of with the shoe is I feel like the laces might be a little bit long than necessary. You might have, like I said before, adjust the fit when you get it out of the box because it's going to be factory and it'll be very loose. So I did have to tighten up the laces a little bit in order to fit my foot perfectly. I never had any issues with feeling like my foot was moving around too much. I didn't have any ankle or Achilles blisters or pains like that, which is good. And I guess another negative would be, in terms of durability, if you do get a pair that has a colored outsole with the foam, it will wear very quickly after even a couple of runs. I can already see the edges of the foam kind of wearing off. But other than that, the rubber is pretty much brand new, so it's just mainly cosmetic issues, so it's not really a big deal. So if you heel strike a lot, expect that the foam on the back side of the shoe will wear pretty fast. But that shouldn't, deter you from using the shoe, as the rubber on the shoe is very good and it still feels like it's brand new. So this, like I said before, this shoe really wants you to push the pace faster than you want, and it's a pretty seamless in doing that, and it'll hold your pace very easily as well. So unlike a lot of other shoes, this is pretty much effortless when you're trying to go fast. A lot of shoes, you really have to use some energy, you know, to go fast and keep the pace. But with this shoe, like the Alpha Fly Next Percent, you kind of just cruise with this shoe, and it just helps your feet go fast. It's so much easier. A little bit hard to explain, but people who have used this shoe, I believe, share the same sentiments. Stability wise, this shoe was solid. On turns, obviously it's not going to be super smooth. There's still, you have to be careful while doing very sharp turns, but you know, at no point in time while I was turning did I feel like, you know, I was going to slip or twist an ankle or anything like that. So the shoe just very solid. So if someone came to me and asked me for a shoe that can do it all, that isn't going to break the bank, I definitely would recommend the Endorphin Speed for that. You know, I really love the original Endorphin Speed, and I pretty much said the same thing. I turned that shoe into a daily trainer because I just loved that shoe and I loved running in it. And I think I'm going to do the same with the Endorphin Speed 3, and I'll probably pick up a couple pairs just in case I have backup before they sell out. And some of the colorways and sizes are sold out already online, so it just shows you how much people really like the Endorphin Speed. This shoe is lightweight, and it's almost the same weight as the Nike's top-end running shoe, the Alpha Fly Next Percent, which is crazy, and it's almost $100 cheaper than that shoe, and it gives you almost kind of the same effect and power that that shoe has. And this shoe is, like I said, very quick, so it's perfect for tempo runs, you know, quick workouts, races, anything like that. And if you really want to go slow in this shoe, you can, but the shoe really works well in really quick, you know, fast paces. So a lot of the shoes that were released this year haven't been too exciting, so, you know, I can't say enough about the Endorphin Speed 3 and how great the shoe is. And now with the minor changes, I think it's even better. And I hope Saucony just, you know, keeps the shoe this way. And I don't know what else they would need to do to make this shoe better. Maybe add more colors. You know, I did hear people say that there's not enough colors available. In the initial release, there's about 4 colors available. So you have that pink, like the Endorphin Pro, and you have this one, the white, and the fizzy red, and there's the all blue one as well as the black and white one. But I'm pretty sure they're going to add new colors out there in you know, in the future. There's already a Chicago Marathon version of this shoe available, so if you want a, you know, a different color like a lighter blue, I think that shoe may be $10 more. So other than that, I think this shoe is almost as close to perfect as it can be. It's just great, fast, lightweight, does everything you can do without any frills, and you can't go wrong in this shoe. Everybody seems to be raving about the Endorphin Speed 3, even more so than the Endorphin Pro 3, honestly. And I did try the Endorphin Pro 3, and I feel like the Speed is a much better shoe for me, at least. So to summarize everything, the Endorphin Speed 3 is a great shoe. It's lightweight, it's fast, and it's capable of doing any type of runs you throw at it. It's got great grip, and now the stability issues have been fixed, and I just can't think of anything really negative about the shoe. And I highly recommend this shoe to new runners all the way to advanced runners that just want a shoe to do it all, or a shoe for, you know, quick, fast tempo runs. The shoe would be perfect for that. So at $170, I understand it's not the cheapest shoe out there, but for that price, I feel like you're getting the most bang for your buck compared to all the other stuff or shoes that other companies have been trying to release. And you know what the crazy thing is, all these other companies are releasing new shoes with all this technology or recycled stuff, and it's not even better than the Endorphin Speed, which barely has made any changes over the past 3 versions. And it just shows that you just have to listen to the runners on what needs to be updated instead of trying to make a whole new shoe from something that may be working properly already. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below in the comment section, what do you guys think about the Endorphin Speed 3? Is this a shoe that you're going to pick up? Or if you already have the shoe, I would love to hear how you're enjoying it, or if there's any issues you're having with the shoe, or if you guys have any other questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. I hope you guys are all staying safe and your training is going well, and I'll talk to you guys on the next run.